Who told you love is the alpha and omega, and that your heart will lead you to the only one? It's a curse, it's the habit.
Yes, then I'm standing here at Pride Park in Stockholm Pride together with A Camp, or is it a camp or a camp?
It's really whatever you like, whatever you think feels better to say.
Okay, cool. So, how come you wanted to perform at Stockholm Pride?
Well, because I have been here once before and performed several years ago, and it was really, really fun. It was an amazing audience, and I just like the festival in general. It's a really sort of good-tempered festival. I like it a lot, and people are excited, and I think we have a lot of, I think I've learned throughout the years that a camp has been around that we sort of have a lot of audience in the gay community too. So I think it was absolutely saying yes to it.
And for you who are here for the first time, how does it feel to perform at Stockholm Pride?
No, it's a tremendous honor, and it's a tremendous honor to be asked, and it's an incredible thing. It really is, because even in people have it really, really wonderful here, and it's even in so-called civilized countries like the USA, where I come from, in states like California, we have stuff like Proposition 8, which I don't know if you've heard about this, but this is, this is very medieval stuff, and, very basic rights like the right to have a civil union are being taken away from same-sex couples, and this is in a so-called civilized nation, so Sweden is very advanced in this respect, and I hope people, and it's great to see people taking advantage of that. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And for you, does it feel to be here the first time? Right.
Actually, it's the second time. I've been here as a visitor 1 year ago, so this is my second time, but it's the first time I play here. Yeah.
So, what do you feel the difference between visiting the Stockholm Pride and actually be on stage? What do you like the most?
Yeah, I like both. I mean, I like to meet people, and I tend to be able to meet more people if I'm on stage. But yeah, it was really a really friendly atmosphere, non-aggressive, and I really appreciated that. And I'm proud to play here tonight. Yeah.
What does pride mean to you?
Oh, a lot. It contains everything. Pride and not having to be afraid and everything. They're big things, for sure. Of course, in this context, it's connected to being proud of who you are and your sexuality, but pride is something that sort of seeps into a lot of really important fields.
Yeah, I think simply being who you are and not being afraid, as you said. And I think as Nina Simone said, what do you want out of life, she was asked, and she said, all I want is to be myself and to not be afraid all the time, and that's a lifelong process. And I think isn't that the most, I mean, I burst into tears when I heard her say that. It's one of the most profound things, I think, and I think everyone, struggles, whether you're gay, you're straight, or both. Everybody struggles with this, and this is a lifelong thing that we all work with. So.
I mean, I'm not gay, but I can relate to that, growing up in a rural part of a sort of redneck country in Dalarna, and being allowed to expose myself on stage and being emotional every night, and that's fantastic.
Question. Can you, as a pop group, affect the LGBT people's right in the society?
I don't really. Well, it's a tricky question. I don't know, but I think that ultimately we have a lot of the majority of our songs is about love, and it's about different sort of obstructions to love, and it's also about sort of different questions and different dark sides of it all. I have no idea.
Well, I can answer that, I think, to some degree. I think the more that popular culture is presented, if you take a film, for example, an American film, a Hollywood film, a very popular film like Brokeback Mountain, which is a love story, and it's very simply, and a film actually that I worked on called Boys Don't Cry, these are love stories, and it doesn't have to do with gender, and it doesn't have to do with, it has to do, of course, with sexuality and all this, but what love story doesn't, whether it's about straight love and I think the more that you have these mainstream pieces of pop culture that pop out there, whether it's a song or whether it's a film or whether it's the more acceptable these concepts become to the average, consumer of goods. I don't know. I think that ultimately, I think that these things are decided on a political level, and I think that
I was told something really amazing just a few minutes ago, that there was a girl telling me that during one of our songs Tonight, she proposed to her girlfriend to get married. I don't know what that is part of, like an answer to the question, but that felt pretty fucking great.
Which we have to remember.
I know.
We have to remember that it's illegal now in the state of California. It's illegal in Iran. It's illegal in Saudi Arabia, certainly, and it's illegal in a lot of countries that you would think it would be legal in. So we have to remember that we have this is an incredible thing, that this is an advanced society in so many ways, and we really have to celebrate that. I think pride is a good word to apply to that.
Then a little private question: any one of you has any LGBT experience yourself?
I answered that question once a while back in the QX magazine, and I answered it honestly, and I got a lot of shit for it, for trying to be fitting into the society. But yes, and I'm really not saying it to make friends in the gay community.
No, yeah, the same is true for me. I certainly did as well, but I think that that was part of the process of certainly. The way that I grew up, and I don't know, it was probably pretty similar for you. It was sort of the androgyny of the glam rock thing and Rocky Horror Picture Show and all that sort of stuff. You experimented, and either you figured out you were one way or the other, or both, or whatever you wanted to do. So I don't think it really matters, but yeah, as it happens, I did when I was a teenager, and it was no problem.
Not yet, but who knows what happens tonight.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question. Since this year's theme is actually heterosexual or straight, on a scale 1 to 10, how straight are you?
I think I would be maybe like, it's really difficult, but I think I'd be a 6 or 7.
I don't know. In New York, my group of friends and I were always called. There's this term called stray, which is straight acting gay. Which is sort of like, it morphed into the term metrosexual, which I think is a more familiar term. So I'm probably like a 6.
Nathan just started to wear moisturizer. I don't know how much that counts into.
Yeah, moisturizer. Sure.
After my pressuring him.
I don't want my skin to get flaky.
I know the feeling, totally. I know the feeling.
Also, I seem to be I do a lot of film scores, and I seem to gravitate towards a lot of transgender and I did the movie Velvet Goldmine, Boys Don't Cry, and Lilia Forever, and sort of these things that deal with sexuality and not necessarily homosexuality, but transgressive.
Say a number. 1 to 10.
No, I did.
You did?
I said 6.
6. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm not bent, but I'm twisted, like a screw.
Yeah.
7.2.
7.2. Okay, guys, thank you very much for being here and enlightening our evening this much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.